Okay, so here we are. I've got both CADs open right now, and you can see them both. We're going to look mostly at this one in this video. But I wanted to see that they're very, very different animals. This one, of course, is web-based. You can see I'm running it in a browser. All right, and that means for you to get it going, you're going to have to go to the Onshape website. You're going to have to create an account. As a student, you get a really powerful set of tools, which you can use for as long as you're a student. And actually, even beyond that, you can get it as a free account. And one of the things, you have some limited restrictions, not too bad though. But one thing you do have to do is, no matter what work you work on, it falls into the public domain. So there's no real way to protect your work if you're interested in doing that. Most people don't really care. They're just building fun stuff. So it really probably doesn't matter that much. LibreCAD, on the other hand, is entirely local. Okay, it's something you have to download and install. It is cross-platform. It works on Windows machines. It works on Mac machines. It works on Linux. But it is something you have to download and install and run it there. The advantage, of course, is that at school, if the internet's running a little laggy, this doesn't make any difference at all. It's going to run because it's not web-based. This, for example, is web-based, so if the internet's running a little laggy, well, it's just going to run laggy. The big advantage, though, is that this will run on anything because all the computation is happening off-site, someplace in the cloud. Okay, so you can do some really amazing stuff, and I'll show you some relatively simple demonstrations. But nonetheless, some pretty cool stuff with this software, and realizing that none of that is actually happening on your computer. All you're seeing on your computer is a projected image of what's happening in the cloud. Okay? So that being said, let's take a look at this. I'm going to just go highlight. So we wanted to make, for example, I'll use, again, the fonts are limited and whatnot, so I'm going to make a simple placard like this using Onshape. Okay, I can't do as much of the graphics. I can't do the fill patterns, but I can do some really, really nice stuff. And of course, I can do much more in three-dimensional space. But let me show you a couple of things real quick. Let's take a fast, cruise through this. I use Onshape quite a bit. You can see some student work down here. That's all happened. In, for example, the STEAM class. You can really do some amazing stuff. We use it in, for example, the hydroponics, in the applied tech and botany class. I use it for making watering tools and various pieces. If I open this up, for example, you can see this is one of the diffusers that's used to distribute the water in the hydroponic system. And all of this, of course, is running off-site, but I can visualize it, I can see it, I can work on it. Let me get rid of this notice, I'm sorry. And again, you can see this is a very three-dimensional object, right? Another cool thing, let's go back over here, owned by me. I'm currently working on, for example, a new model of one of my animatrons, okay? And with working with Onshape, I can actually take multiple pieces and create them as separate documents. I can import them all into a single document, and I can create these really amazing assemblies. In fact, actually, when I'm done with this, I can even define the types of joints, okay, that are holding these pieces together, and I can animate this. As a student, you can actually get the ability with the education license to even do, for example, stresses. So if I want to put a pin or a bolt in here and literally move this, I can actually, once I define the material that this piece is made of, it will actually sort of work through the mathematics to determine the stresses on these particular parts, so I can see where it may or may not break and predicts how it'll behave. So again, super powerful stuff, especially in the three-dimensional world. So that being said, we're going to make a really simple two-dimensional thing right now, and I'm going to do it very fast. So I'm going to go create a new document, and I'll call this box tag. Okay? And so it's going to open up in these three-dimensional space. Like I said, we're making something pretty simple. It's essentially two-dimensional. And I'm going to work on it from the top down. So I only want to work on this surface right here, the flat surface that would be laying horizontal. So I think I'm going to go ahead and hide these two planes. And I'm going to focus on the top plane. Okay, so now I'm looking right down on a piece of paper as if I'm standing above looking down. And I want to make a drawing. So to do that, this is the plane. I still need some place to work. So I have to create a sketch or a sketch pad on this plane. So now you see I have my sketch pad. Okay, so these pieces we're going to make, I've been designing these, and I think we should stick with something of this size. This is about 80 millimeters by about 40 millimeters. So let's start with that. All right. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to choose a rectangle. I'm going to choose a center point rectangle, which means it's going to grow from the center. I can choose a corner rectangle. All right, but I'm going to choose a center point. And I'm literally going to click it right in the center, and I'm just going to throw it out there. Boom. Don't even care how big it is. Because as soon as I'm done, you can see it highlighted one of these boxes. So I said I want to make it 40 by 80. Okay? There, I've got my 40 by 80 millimeter box. Super sweet, super easy, no problem. So I want to do something with my box where I want to have like a rounded corner on it, like this. Okay, so it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to do that with this tool right here. Okay, so I'm going to click on the two surfaces that I want to curve or fill, and you can see it's put in this thing right here, this sort of curve. That R5 is the radius. If I want to, I can type in here, double click it, I can make that, for example, 8 millimeters. And you can see the radius got bigger. I can go back to it. I'm going to drag it over here someplace where it's a little easier to work with. And I'm going to click it again. I think I am going to stick with 5 millimeters. All right, and now I've got my 5 millimeter radius. I can then go around and reproduce that phenomena. Whoops, sorry. Escape. I'm going to go back up to this tool. Sorry, I went back up here to click on the fillet. And now I'm going to go back and select these two. And once again, oh, I don't know why, I went back to 8. I'm going to go back to, I want to make that 5. Enter. Okay, now I've got my 5 millimeter. And you can see now it's still highlighted, so we should be able to move along. There we go, now it's happy. See how it's highlighting my mouse? I'm going to click it. And once again, you can see it's highlighting the right mouse button. I'm going to click it. And now I have completed the rounding of the edges. So we're to a flat piece of wood now that's got rounded edges on it. Okay, so let's move on. So now we want to put some text on here. All right. Now text is a little bit, maybe a little disappointing with Onshape. There's not a lot of choices, and as I said in the first video, part of that is because single lines don't extrude very well. They're infinitely thin, so you're stuck with solid block letters. So let me go back and open up my drawing. I don't know what happened there. I'm going to click on text, and I'm going to drag a box. And one of the things I want you to have on your tag is which classes, I'm sorry, like I said, it is internet based, so every once in a while, if the internet starts flaking, it just kind of disappears on you. Okay, I'm going to put in there, I am taking the intro course, I am taking the robotics course, and I am also taking the projects. I should say mods. Let me make that a capital I. Okay. And again, I'm going to choose a font. I don't know what. Let's go with this Roboto. Okay. And we'll click on it. And there we have it. So you can see that it's popped up. Now it's huge, so I'm going to have to scale this down so it fits into this sort of corner right here. So I'm going to do that by taking this dimension tool. And I'm going to click on either end, right here and right here, drag it up, and now I have something I can edit. So let's make it, I don't know, let's say 15 millimeters. Ah, there we go. That's pretty good. And I think we're good with that. So let's now take our project here and let's put it, come on. It's not letting me drag it over into the surface. Let me pause it for a moment, figure out why that's doing that. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but it's fixed. So I'm going to go ahead now and set this up here. And now you can see that I said that I took the intro course to robotics. I'm going to take all 3 mods. Okay. So now I'm going to put my name right here. So I'm going to click on this tool again. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw a box. And my name is Brian Patton. Let's try, oh, I get that dang A right. Let's make it a different font. I don't know what. Let's go with this Tino's. And we'll say OK. Once again, it's pretty big. So I'm going to take my dimensions tool. I'm going to click right there. I'm going to click right there. I'm going to drag it down. And I think I want to make this, I don't know, let's say 60 millimeters. And now I can select my letters and I'm going to move that hold on, let me pause it. Don't know why it's doing that. Normally it moves easier, but I had to drag it from this corner. It wasn't able to drag it from there, but I dragged it into the middle. All right, so now I've got my name all set here. We're getting really close. The last thing I want to put on here is the year and a hole. So actually, let's put the hole in first. I'm going to take and choose a center point circle. Okay, and you'll see how it highlights. This is one of the really nice things, is it does snap onto objects. So that yellow-orange line right there indicates it's found itself to center. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to drag it out. Now this is in diameter, okay? So I want this to be about 2.5, oops, escape circle. I'm going to go back up here. All right, and I'm going to make this about 2.5 millimeters in diameter. And now you can see it'll automatically scale it down, and I've got a 2.5 millimeter hole. And now let's go ahead and put the year. So I'm going to go here again, and I'm going to put it about right there. And it's 2024. And I'm going to say OK. And now I can take and move this, and we'll put it kind of in the middle. And the other thing I did, wait for it to render, there we go, is I can select this, and you'll notice that in mine, I did in fact have it rotated to the side, kind of in a little, I don't know, awkward position, just to show you how to do that. What you want to do is you want to transform it. So you can go here, you can transform this object, and now you can see I have this tool, okay, with the arrows. I can grab this and I can rotate it. I can specify the number of degrees. I'm just going to click because we're running out of time right there. And now you can see I have my object, okay? So the next thing I got to do is, and I'll do these both at the same time, is I have to take this, export it as a DXF, and then run it into the Lightburn. So I will see you soon.